Morning students. This is the fourth part of Acharya Kuntaka's Vakroktijivam. We have already discussed two kinds of Vakroktis, that are the phonetic Vakrokti and the lexical Vakrokti or obliquity. Now the third kind of Vakrokti or obliquity is the grammatical obliquity, to which Acharya Kuntaka says Pada Parardha Vakrata. In Kavya, Acharya Kuntaka holds the writer is also guided by the consideration of special tense, case, number, person, voice, prefix, suffix, and particle. He discusses these various sources in his treatment of Vakrata in the inflectional forms of substantives. This variety of Vakrata includes all possibilities of varying the grammatical constructions of an expression, and most of them have been included by Anandavardhana in his treatment of Dhwani. Defining it, Kuntaka says that when several forms of literary terms occur together in such a way as to enhance the beauty of one another, they produce artistic charm reminiscent of married-faced beauty. According to Kuntaka, this charm is termed as Pada Paradha Vakrata, which bears many subvarieties like Kala Vakrata, that is the obliquity of tense, Karaka Vakrata, obliquity of case, Sankhya Vakrata, obliquity of number, Purusha Vakrata, obliquity of person, Upagraha Vakrata, obliquity of voice, Upsarga Vakrata, obliquity of prefix, and Pratyaya Vakrata, obliquity of suffix, and Nipata Vakrata, obliquity of particle. Now Kuntaka states that when in Kavya, expression attains excellence due to the striking use of a tense in a particular context and the reader feels transported, it is called Kala Vachitraya Vakrata, the obliquity of tense. In this Vakrata, the writer expresses himself in the tense other than the one ordinarily required. And a talented or gifted the writer, by contemplating the past or future action in the present, produces charm and beauty in his expression. One point is worth noting here, that propriety is strictly to be observed in the employment of the tense. Hence, Kuntaka emphasized upon the capitulation of the tense under agreed condition, which means a mutual relationship between the tense and the context. The historical present, as discussed in the Western poetics, is quite similar to Kuntaka's Kala Vachitraya Vakrata. In both cases, the past incidents and happenings are contemplated in the first form of verb so as to produce charming effect. Such experiment undoubtedly enhances the beauty of Kavya. A talented writer is very conscious of time and place. He turns to the remote in time and place. He does for two reasons. Firstly, his longing for the past provides him an escape from the cooking cares and corroding anxieties of the world. Secondly, it satisfies his cravings for the uncommon and strange. He finds the past enough beauty and joy to feed the waning flame of his soul. His interest in the past satisfies the emotional sense of wonder on one hand and the intellectual sense of curiosity on the other. He, rebelling against that immediate past, finds an antiquarian interest in the remote past. This past proves fruitful in suggesting themes and satisfies the craving for the mysterious as well as for the picturesque. It fascinates imagination by its romantic stories. For example, in overcharged atmosphere of the Middle Ages, the romantic writers sought the virgin sources of romantic effect and of a strange beauty and things likely or remote. These writers took up the past experiences as subject of their works and infused them with an alluring charm by their way of presentation. Karaka Vakrata, obliquity of case, is based on the oblique transposition of the cases. Kuntaka says that when an ordinary case is employed in Kavya by the writer as a main case or vice versa, or the case or transposed We have Karaka Vakrita. The beauty or striking produced by this Vakrita depends solely on the transposition of the cases, which aims at heightening the poetic expression. According to him, this transposition of case animates the subject symbolically and makes it more functional poetically. And now, like Karaka Vakrita, Sankhya Vakrita, or the obliquity of number also functions on the basis of the oblique transposition of numbers. Kuntaka holds that a Vakrita which the writer employs out of his fascination for the strikingness in his kavya to transpose the number, singular number is changed into plural number and vice versa, is called Sankhya Vakrita. This interchange of two opposite numbers imparts beauty and charm to the poetic expression, and consequently the meaning gets its heightened form. Sometimes poet, in order to attain sublimity in kavya, transposes persons also. This style of expression, according to Kuntaka, is Purusha Vakrita, the obliquity of person. In poetic expression, it causes heightened emotions. In this regard, Kuntaka further says that the charm, beauty, or strikingness is an indispensable outcome of this transposition of persons. The appropriate use of the obliquity of person is possible only in epic poetry, but at the same time, it is not true to negate its role completely in other forms of kavya. In fact, this subvariety of Pada Paradha Vakrita is a psychological expression, and its strikingness is discernible in all kinds of kavya. Another subvariety of this Vakrita is Upagradha Vakrita, the obliquity of voice. Obviously, it works upon two modes or voices of roots, active and passive. Active mode expresses that the action depends upon the subject, while passive mode tells that the action depends upon some other faculty. According to Kuntaka, these voices have an important role in kavya. He holds that sometimes either of the modes or voices is employed by poet specially in order to produce beauty in kavya. And the last subvariety of Pada Paradha Vakrita is Nipada Vakrita, obliquity of particle. Like the above mentioned two subvarieties of Pada Paradha Vakrita, that is the Upagraha Vakrita and the Purusha Vakrita. So, like these two subvarieties of Pada Paradha Vakrita, Nipata Vakrita is also concerned with the oblique use of particle. Though a particle is an independent component or merely an exclamatory sound and has no grammatical bond with words, it plays an important role in kavya. A talented writer uses this particle to denote some strong feelings or emotions of joy, melancholy, pathos, wonder, and mystery, etc. in kavya. A particle remains inactive in isolation, but in conjunction with a word, it vibrates with a force and intensifies the meaning. This is why, according to Kuntaka, the combination of particle and word which enhances the beauty of expression is called Upsarga Vakrita. So, to understand these subvarieties of obliquity, Kuntaka suggests to study shorter poems of your choice to understand these. So, this is the third kind of vakrokti, that is the Vakrokpada Paradha. Pada Pararadha Vakrita, that is the grammatical obliquity. The first one is phonetic obliquity that relates with the sound of the poem. Second is lexical obliquity that relates with the choice of words, and the third is grammatical obliquity which relates with the tense, case, number, person, voice, prefix, suffix, particle, etc. So, we will be discussing more vakroktis, more kind of obliquities in the further lectures. Thank you very much.